Ainscough is Britain's biggest mobile crane hire company. At dawn every day, their cranes crisscross the country.
All right, let's go for it.
Apart from my family, this is the second love of my life. So family and then cranes.
They lift everything.
Nice and steady.
Yes, best way, mate. Get round.
From wind turbines to priceless artworks.
I'm feeling a little bit nervous.
Keep going.
What if it slides out?
It won't. It's not going to slide out.
Daylight's in our hands up there. One wrong move up there from us, and it's game over for them.
24 hours a day.
Hold it.
You've just got to get it right, because if you don't, it could pull the crane over.
It's going to go. It's got to go.
7 days a week.
Don't pull it, John.
You'll get me up there, that's for sure.
They keep Britain lifting.
Yep, happy on the hoist. Not many people can say that they've had the opportunity to work with a ship like that.
We're a small cog in a big machine, which helps make this country better.
But facing increased competition and having invested millions in the latest cranes, the company is at a crossroads.
If we don't deliver, it's a bit like football management. I guess we have some conversations about whether you get to stay for next season. Do I have a few sleepless nights thinking about that? Yes, I do.
Ainsco's HQ in Preston, the hub of a nationwide empire.
It's the true sense of the word, big boys' toys. You play with these things when you're a kid, and we've got 450 odd of them kind of running up and down the country every day.
But for commercial director Gareth Jones, running a mobile crane hire company isn't child's play.
We've got over 1,000 people, 29 locations, which span right from the north of Scotland right down to the south coast. I mean, from a revenue point of view, we're a £120 million organisation, so yeah, it's a big old turnover. That's a lot of jobs. Yeah, we're a pretty big deal in the crane world.
But in the worst economic downturn for a generation, keeping the firm on top isn't easy.
If you're the market leader, you can only go one way, and that's not something that's an option for us.
The company's received almost £100 million of investment, and they need results.
We've got new owners now, and they want to take the business back to the heights that it was at the peak of the market. Now, it's a challenge in terms we've got to get more business, we've got to get more revenue. We don't ever want to see a yard full of cranes. So if you see a yard full of cranes and a yard full of trucks, you know that you're not busy. And if you're not busy, you're not earning revenue. If you're not earning revenue, you're not making money.
The crane gang will lift anything, no matter how unusual. And today, a team are at the Falkirk Wheel in central Scotland to transport a work of art that's been sold to a private buyer. It's a unique challenge for Falkirk lift supervisor John Hollis.
15-ton solid granite, sculptured locally. So it's quite a substantial lift for us. Obviously one of its kind, so we need to be very, very careful that we don't do any damage whatsoever to it. What we have here is quite a sharp edge on the granite because it operates almost like a razor, and if the slings come in contact with that, it'll just cut them immediately.
Next sculpture, I'm going to have two handles at the side so you can lift it.
Sculptor Ronald Ray spent a year chiselling Tiger by hand. He's an important regular customer.
I carved this thing 14 years ago, my God. My beard was black then.
He likes to supervise everything from start to finish, make sure everything's done correctly, the way he wants it. There's no damage to anything.
That carved us thinking about William Blake, tiger burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye can frame thy fearful summit by?
400 miles away, Somerset lift supervisor Mike Wools is figuring out how to get the sculpture to its new home.
The weights and what we're lifting is not the issue, it's just to get the access to the final position is presenting something of a challenge.
So, here is the plinth.
Was it Tigger's final resting place?
New owner Sally lives in the heart of the Somerset countryside.
We think from the central point of the Tiger, you just get that lovely view through. And hopefully all the ley lines are correct as well.
For Sally, it's a mystical location. For Mike, it's hard to reach.
What I'm hoping to do is to bring the crane in down here.
Yep.
Bringing the lorry in beside it.
Yep.
So we can lift it up that way round and into position.
Mike's arranged for half a kilometre of track to be laid across 2 fields so the vehicles can reach the plinth in Sally's garden.
The last thing you want is the crane slipping while it's going in, because if it does, then we've got problems getting it out, obviously. That's the main challenge, is getting the roads safe enough and good enough to bring the crane in and the lorry in with the sculpture on.
Up in Scotland...
All right, John, aye. A wee test lift at that, mate.
They're ready to lift.
Just an inch off the deck, John.
You know, every time you carve granite, every chisel mark, you're releasing for the first time the light of day for 460 million years old. It sears crystals are seeing the light of day. Pure stardust, it's fantastic. She's away, she's going.
Tiger's a one-off work of art that's insured for £100,000.
John, that's just a bit spot on.
We're no bad at that, Ronnie.
Come on, you're the man. Are you happy for that? It's not going to find any of his heat. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Flying tigers. Think of the Egyptians. They didn't have this 250-ton crane. Greatest granite workers in the world.
It takes 4 men 2 hours to lift the sculpture onto the truck and secure it in place.
Right, let's sit it down and let's just see which way it's going to kick.
Is that him done?
That'll just prevent any rocking.
I don't want to come over the motorway.
No, we don't either, I can assure you.
Tigers survived the first lift.
Farewell!
Hi-ho! Hi-ho! Hi-ho!
What's that?
That's the evacuation
Is that
siren.
evacuation siren?
No 2 days are the same for the crane gang. And in South London,
Bit of bush for you there, Cash.
Bit of bush, Cash.
one of their teams is working revamping tired council houses.
Can you see that lamppost there, Wayne? Well, the project is a council project for the houses that have got existing outbuildings that are redundant now. Well, not redundant, that have seen better days. So they're lifting those ones out and putting these new refurbed bathroom pods in.
It's lovely, isn't it?
The faults have got to come from this side, I think. Oh, my days. But we've got a tree this side and a BT cable, so we have a bit of a problem at the moment. Pinch it up again, Wayne. Pinch it up again.
The mobile crane driver operates his crane from a cab near the ground. But top riggers Dave and Lee are his eyes and ears.
As soon as you clear the trees and every obstacle, Wayne, up you go, buddy. Up you go.
It's their job to guide the hook to areas that he can't see.
Ain't lifting over houses. Yeah. Because you're so far up in the air, aren't you?
Go on, keep coming down, babe. Keep coming as you are. Go on, keep coming. Keep coming.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Okay, hold you there, buddy. Has that bolt got to go in that hole?
How you doing, Shagger?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to go in the hole, but...
He will.
Will he?
It's a big hole.
All right, I'll make sure it fits.
Come down and touch base. Right, we ready? Have you done this before?
No.
Down you go.
Chuckle's got name all over this, isn't it?
Yeah.
"42-year-old Dave and 41-year-old Lee met 25 years ago and have stayed together working to the top of the crane business.
How come do I always get the brush?
That's the brains. I'm the brawn. Customers, they all ask for us by Chuckles. Everyone in Ainscow knows us as Chuckles. Then obviously it's just the drivers have give us the name, and that's how it's been ever since.
Sometimes in the industry you have to put your life in other guys' hands, and we trust each other implicitly because we've worked together so long. We know, you know, what each other's thinking half the time. We don't have to say, like, Lee, you do this and I'll do this. We'll just automatically get on and do it, you know, so it works out well. It's a good partnership, really.
The 24/7 nature of the job means they're on the road for weeks on end. They eat and sleep where they work.
Do you want to see the kitchen?
This is where the magic happens, in the kitchen.
Kitchen area. Sink, everything, microwave, fridge. We're all self-sufficient.
Him, he's my bitch. He does the cooking. I look after the van, he looks after the kitchen area. That's easy. He's my bitch. He makes a blinding sandwich, blinding coffee, blinding lemon tea. It's fantastic. And I just have to do the rest.
And you've got the big magic room.
Big magic room.
I'll get the top bunk. It's warmer at the top, always warmer at the top. So that's my department up there.
Because I can't sleep at the top, it's too warm. I can't sleep warm, I have to be cold.
The most important,
toilet, emergency toilet.
Emergency toilet.
Must have emergency toilet.
Where's that then?
There, look.
How does that work?
Ah,
this is where the magic happens.
Ah, that's magic, that is. You've got to have a poo, you've got to have a poo, haven't you?
Sometimes you're in the middle of nowhere.
Needs, must.
When
you need
you're in the
poo.
middle of nowhere and there's no toilets on site. So, you know, you have to have some creature comforts. Obviously not in there, outside, like, you know. But
not in there, you're a liar.
That's the living area.
Yeah, that's the magic van.
Have you just come back in, or you been in a while?
I just got back in.
Just got back in?
Yeah.
Right.
Keeping the crane drivers in check is the responsibility of Hayes depot manager Di, who's been with the company for 15 years.
Tired? Got ya. Got you sleeping hard on the job.
40-year-old ex-paratrooper Lee has been a crane driver for 8 years. And home for him is next to the depot.
I live in the Hilton of the caravans. This is Millionaires Row. Obviously, mine's the good one. Here we have the bathroom and shower. Here we have the master bedroom, which is very, very comfortable. All my unused going out clothes. Yeah, it's very good. This is where I live, yeah. This is where I spend 99.9% of my time. If I'm not in here, I'm in the crane. Crane driving, it's a way of life. It's not a job, it's a way of life. Because you eat, sleep and breathe cranes. I'd love to be married with 2 kids, live in a house. I'd love to, but it's the life I've chosen, isn't it?
When they're in the depot, drivers like Lee are only earning basic pay. If they're working away from home, however, they get paid additional overtime, something they rely on.
What are you moaning for now? What's the matter? Oh.
What job am I getting now then? Where the hell's Kendall Green?
You'll find out in a minute.
You'll find out in a minute.
Lee, calm. Calm down. Yeah? I'm dealing with a bunch of kindergarten kids. That is the playground. This is the nursery office. Yeah, and they are the nursery children. Like I said, kindergarten.
Lee's on his way to a job in West London.
Get a show on the road then.
His 250-ton crane is over 20 metres long.
Rock and roll. Every lunatic in the world now trying to overtake us. Because it's more important to get in front of the crane than it is behind it. Here comes one now. Here he comes. There we go. Oh, taxi driver, what a surprise. Idiot. Never upset the crane driver, that's the saying. We're the alpha male of the road. It's an extension of your body. My baby, you know, and it gives me power. Makes me Superman when I'm driving it. Here she is. This time tomorrow, that view will be different.
The London skyline is littered by hundreds of static tower cranes, which are used to construct high-rise buildings. And Lee has just 12 hours to dismantle a crane that had been building a block of flats in Islington.
Obviously, all the bus stops are not in use at the moment. Excuse me. Good deed for the day, that. Good deed for the day. There's plenty of signs up saying what we're doing, but yet people still park there. I'm not sympathetic at all. I'm about as sympathetic as a hand grenade.
The job is in a busy London street, and it's a tight deadline. To keep the crane constantly lifting, the drivers work in pairs. So Lee will share the workload with his 50-year-old co-driver, Lee Grimwood.
A little bit off to the left, right.
Lee. Lee, in the front, mate, my sunglasses in there. Can you grab them, please? Me cool ones, you know what I mean? I've got to look good.
The sun's not even this way yet. No.
If you notice, I've got them on.
They're not there.
Come on here.
It's got them on.
The 19-ton arm of the tower crane needs lowering to the ground. But first, the riggers need to attach it to Lee's hook. 265 feet in the sky.
Their life's in our hands up there. One wrong move up there from us, and it's game over for them. So you've got to be on your game to do these, because you've got 5 or 6 guys up there. You've got to be on the ball.
He's knocking the last pin out now. You see it's moving. Once that pin comes out, it should be free.
Okay, mate, start hoisting up. Hoisting up. That's it. Smooth to your left, mate. All yours, smooth left.
Give me back as well, mate. Give me back. Can't tell you, brother. There you come. Hold that. Give me back. Make it look easy, don't I?
With the tower crane arms safely landed, Lee Grimwood takes over to bring the rest down in sections.
And lead operator. He gets told what to do. He doesn't get told what to do, he gets that. Put one out on your foot.
The job's complete.
Such professionalism.
This is the beginning of a 6-day shift for the Lees. After today's 13 hours, they won't head home for another 5 days.
My 2 little boys, they don't want to work weekends and, are you coming home? Will you be home before I go to bed, Daddy? And all that sort of stuff.
So, yeah, it's hard being away sometimes when you're away, you know, weeks on end. I just would like to work 5.5 days a week, but unfortunately I can't afford to.
The sculpture Tiger Tiger is nearing the end of its journey to its new home.
I really fell in love with the tiger. And I think often tigers are portrayed as quite vicious animals, and this one is a particularly soft and rather beautiful piece. I'm a bit nervous about it. I'm also extremely excited. I think the real challenge begins going up the very thin lanes through the farms, and then obviously once we get onto the tracking and we start going over farmland.
The lorry's finally arrived.
This is the man!
But there's a problem.
Well, basically, it's come down on the wrong lorry. That is it, in a nutshell. So we've now got to decide whether we can get this one in or transship it onto something else and bring it in.
It looks too long to get round the corner. The driver is concerned.
There is no way that I'm going to get the turning circle to actually get in through the gate.
Do you know what I mean? Can we not get a hire from somebody around here, six-wheeler?
I'd make some inquiries, because I really don't know.
Well, I get back tomorrow afternoon. I'd like to hope this was done today.
So would I.
I want to get back to Scotland. This is nervous breakdown for me.
Where are we at? What's going on?
This is going to take longer than we thought. It has to be done. I want it done today, though.
Yeah, it has to be done today.
So that's the position.
Okay.
The other thing is, what I was just saying to Mike there, is that we scramble in and try and get a hire from somebody with a six-wheeler flatbed lorry.
A little disappointed, actually. That things sort of haven't all clicked into place, so much preparation. But we've got to get it done, got to get it sorted, so hopefully somebody will come up trumps.
The team responsible for dealing with customers are based at Preston HQ.
Okay. Cheers. Bye.
The National Hire Centre is managed by Sean Wood.
This is our team, you know. This is, they all look busy when there's a camera in their face. When you're not here, they'll be sat with their feet up. We've got Mark, he's my right-hand man. Bit of eye candy for the ladies in the room.
Ladies?
He's been with the company now. How long have you been with them, Mark?
10.5 years.
I wouldn't have given 10.5 months when I first met him. I wouldn't have given 10.5 months. See, because the buck stops for me, I can be like bad cop. Mark's the good cop, I'm the bad cop.
To be honest, Sean hasn't got any nicknames, really. I mean, he probably has from depots, but obviously, because we respect him in such a high manner, he is our Lord and Master. We call him Sir.
There's the money.
Thank you very much.
Got Tracy behind you. She's been with us on, I don't know, about 15 years, 16 years, have you?
12.
12 years. It feels like 15, 16 years.
All right, no problem. Be with you in 2 minutes.
They arrange cranes for top clients, including the National Grid and the Ministry of Defence.
Leave that with me, please, Ida. I'll wait to Steve and I'll come back to you. This is the nerve centre, or the nerd centre. It's the hub of the business as far as the top customers are concerned. And we're dealing with some serious contracts. You know, the Olympic Stadium, the rail network, and the high-speed upgrades. The big players out there in the construction industry do contact us.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
We take the request from the client. So if he wants a crane in Inverness or down in Newquay in Cornwall, he'll just give us the work and we'll find our nearest depot to cover that work.
I'm in Watford, Hertfordshire.
Every business is struggling and we're trying to get back up there, you know. But if we don't look after these top customers, then you know this place could just kind of, well, cease to exist.
See you later, bye.
Hi Andrew, how you doing?
Fine, you?
I'm not bad, I'm not bad.
6 months ago, the company received nearly £100 million from investors.
what we're going to get, a 750 is going to net us maybe 1.2 million.
And commercial director Gareth is spending £4 million on the latest 750-ton crane.
All right, mate, see you later. The expectation on that crane is pretty high. You're expecting, you know, it's got high hopes, and actually you can't have hopes, you've got to have plans and projections. You've got to have work for the crane.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning. This is the first time we've seen the machine in the colour, so it looks pretty good.
The new crane is designed for jobs in heavy industry and can earn £16,000 a day.
It's amazing, isn't it, really? It's a crane spotter's dream, this is, to be honest. And like I say, doesn't matter whether you like cranes or not. Big kid in you, you can't not be impressed by it.
So this is a proximity sensor. You can see those on the inside under the indicator lenses. That gives the driver an alert if a cyclist is coming close. That's a V8 twin turbo supercharged, so it's a much more robust engine than the standard engines that we've had on previous cranes. This is a radical change in design. The capacities that this can lift are by far better than the comparable crane from the competition. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. The challenge is, isn't it, when you look at it, we've got the kits. The kit's spot on, it's absolutely state of the art. It's getting customers to understand exactly what we do. This crane's massively important for us. We're serious about investing in the future. It's important that we get this crane busy, earning the right kind of money.
In Somerset, after 2 hours and a flurry of phone calls, there's finally good news.
They've now found a Ronnie, what is it? A six-wheeler flatbed lorry that we think will be sufficiently strong enough to carry the Tiger safely and securely. So this is really coming at the last minute, which is fantastic. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure what we would have done. There it is.
The gentleman from this company, I think he's one of the owners, I've taken him down to look at the job. He's more than happy with it. So we're going to get it loaded and do it. It's as simple as that now, I hope.
What if it slides out?
It won't. It's not going to slide out. It's going to hold it very securely.
How do you know?
Because I do know, because I trust them. They know what they're doing.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't know about that.
That Dave? Yeah, that might be a bit too far.
A bit more slack? No, you're fine. That's it.
Let's go.
A 100-ton crane will lift the sculpture, but manoeuvring down the tracks is far from straightforward. The weeks of careful planning are finally going to be put to the test.
I'm feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit emotional. I'm also slightly concerned because there's a lorry about to go into a tree. Here we go. Okay, how's that looking?
If I bring it down to Lily on the ground for you, then you can have a look.
Yeah.
Before it's lowered into place, Mike and the crane gang have to wait until Sally's certain her Tiger is mystically aligned.
We've just got to make sure that it's centred but it's sitting on the plinth right, and maybe get it in exactly the right position. About there. Are you good? Yeah? Has it made a difference?
Is he happy down there?
He's really happy. He's given me the thumbs up. Yeah. Are you happy?
That's nothing to do with me, it's you. You're going to live with it. Wait till I'm dead, till you move it.
What a monster, isn't it? We've got there, we've overcome. Job's done. What we've got to do now is get the crane out, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. I'm really thrilled. Looks quite spectacular. Really, really happy. And relieved as well.
Wish I had the money to do it.
It's very early morning, and more cranes are being dispatched across the country. In East London, riggers Dave and Lee, better known as Chuckles, are about to start work on their next job.
What looks like bad?
Try the biscuit. Keep me going, keep my energy up.
Dismantling a 160-year-old rail bridge, so a modern replacement better suited for today's high-speed trains can be installed. Over 100 men from 4 different contractors will work round the clock for 5 days to complete the job.
Lemon tea.
Dave and Lee's huge experience should come in handy.
These are the early days when we first started at Ainscow. This was, where the biggest crane they had was the 400-tonner. Them 2 slim, handsome guys.
Many moons ago.
Yeah.
Lazy
That's
days.
working hard.
Lazy days.
This is Heathrow Airport. That's the new terminal at Terminal 5, the
traffic control
tower. This is Edgware Road, the bombings. We went and picked the carriage up that had the main blast in it. When we do all these disasters and all the deaths and everything, it's not worth getting into the
emotional side of it.
Yeah, the emotional side of it, because it'll break you, won't it?
Yeah, play on your mind.
Just play on your mind. So
you're sympathetic towards
yeah.
them. How we get round it is we make Lee wear funny teeth.
I have to wear funny teeth.
But first, they need a crane.
We've got traffic, mate.
Roger that.
And it's a job for one of the big ones, a 500-tonner. But its arrival on site has coincided with rush hour.
Absolute pandemonium. This is where we're going to cause some hassle. I tend to find people in London don't like to stop for abnormal loads. Hang up crane round this blue car because we've got a car parked up on his left.
If people could read parking restriction signs, it would make things a little more helpful, but you know, we'll overcome.
The rail track is closed for just 99 hours.
I think I understand. They're going to take all these intermediate beams out first. After they've broke the concrete out, we're going to lower them straight to the ground.
Their first job is to strip out 18 2-ton girders.
Down you go. Keep going down, bud. Keep going down, bud. Keep going down. Keep going down.
Once down, the next phase is to lift the entire side of the bridge out.
This big steel girder on the outside, that's coming down next. And then, I don't know what the schedule is after that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Cross that bridge when we come to it.
What are we doing now then?
That's on the wrong one. Oh, poo. It's all right, John, Lee's put it on the wrong one.
Before the big lift, the Chuckles are strapped onto a contractor's cherry picker so they can attach the side of the bridge to the crane.
We're going to put the chain to the other side of the bridge, mate.
Getting the chain secured is one thing. but the platform has malfunctioned.
Shaggy, get me down there, what? Stop it! Shaggy, no, whoa! Shaggy, that ain't right, is it?
It should compensate, shouldn't it? It's not my fault.
Oh! I'm not coming up here again, you do it on your own. Whoa! Shaggy, zip it out! Shaggy, can't get down!
The thing's tilted and now we've had it. You can't get up or down. I don't know what to say, Jake.
That thing broke!
For crane drivers Lee and Lee, it's another night away from home.
I love being away, I do. I love it. The open road. I don't mind it.
They're en route to a job at a cement factory in the Midlands.
I'm more enthusiastic about work than you are, aren't I?
I've lost it.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but you shouldn't leave it though.
No. I've lost the enthusiasm.
I'm your motivation, Lee.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not. Let's go and get some cholesterol.
How are you doing, mate? Can I have a chicken mushroom pie? Yeah. Chips, peas and gravy. Can I have it on a tray, please?
Can I have a cheeseburger?
Salt and chips?
Just salt. Vinegar, please. Lovely, lovely. Nice cheeseburger.
Yours looked horrible.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It's because it's got salad in it. That's the only reason why it looks horrible to you.
200 miles from home. The Lees are spending the night in a depot en route to the next job.
Fork. You didn't get one for me, did you?
Huh?
You didn't get one for me, did you?
I got a plastic one, didn't I? If you're working away from the depot, over 40 miles, you get your £30 living allowance, your lodge, and you get your £10 meal allowance. The £10 meal allowance is to feed you for that 24-hour period, which here is not so bad, £5 a meal, and your breakfast £5, that's £10. You go to the big cities, London, wherever, you struggle.
Given my choice, I wouldn't be away. Not anymore. Much rather sleep with my wife than you.
Oi, oi.
In East London, Dave and Lee's feet are back on solid ground.
Is that all right? Yeah.
And it's time for the next stage of the job.
You stuck? Oh.
Hackney Downs Railway Bridge has been carrying trains for 160 years. But in the next few moments, the entire bridge side is coming down.
This is where we found out where the engineers are any good.
OK, mate, keep pinching it up again. Come up to 30, Jake.
Measuring 30 metres and weighing 27 tonnes, the lift needs to be carefully controlled.
I think, Mark, I think there might have been something underneath holding that in. Right, come up a little bit more, couple of tonne, Jake.
Give us a little flick to your left, Jake.
Should be up again, boys.
Don't pull it, John! Don't pull it! Little flick to your right. Little flick right, come down on the ice for me. Okay, I'll hold it out. You all clear there, Jag? All right, jib up for me, Jake. Jib it up, buddy. All right, we'll have them.
The massive piece of steel needs to be lowered precisely onto railway sleepers
No, that should do us.
before being removed.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Right, keep going as you are. Keep going. Wait, well, off we landed now, babe. Well done, superb. Good job. Good job. Good job. That gets cut up now. Small sections, and we pick it up, load it in the skips out there for the demolition boys to take away. Sell it on eBay.
With half the bridge down and just 50 hours left, there's just time for a cuppa.
Dinner time, babe.
Happy days.
Happy days.
In the Midlands, the Lees, like other crews, are hitting the site before an early start.
Oh dear. I'm sure my wife doesn't believe we live like this.
Working near industrial sites means their van is often the only accommodation option.
That's the toilet. Just in between tree 2 and 3 in the middle. It's like camping this, really, isn't it? No. This is how the other half lives, see? You get into bed? Yeah.
What else is there to do?
You think there's a bear in here sometimes?
If I end up sleeping like that, I fall asleep with the telly on, right, and I'm like that, I end up snoring. He just snores anyway.
I don't snore.
And he farts. There's a lot of farting going on.
This is it.
Living the dream.
This is not how it's supposed to be, you know.
Up in Preston HQ,
Right, so let's go in here.
Commercial Director Gareth is looking at new ways to grow the business.
Come on, I need someone who's got an opinion about everything.
A range of company merchandise.
One of the crane companies, their sales, millions of pounds a year they're doing off the online sales.
Really?
Yeah, toy cranes, people are buying the cranes and stuff. You can go to a B&Q now or any kind of outlet, you can buy JCB stuff. You know, that's kind of a power of a brand. I mean, take stuff like this. A collector will probably pay about between 500 quid and £1,000 for that. And people do collect all over the world.
Hats.
How about that?
Oh, I'll tell you what, we could be in LA, we could be one LA gangsters.
Well,
I wouldn't get that far, yeah.
Would it? Customers are close to your heart.
Oh, yeah, always.
Obviously handy for someone like yourself in the winter.
Well,
It's a bit light upstairs.
keep me out, yeah.
So you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, definitely. If it's your idea, Gareth, it's a good idea.
Let's move on.
The team don't seem that convinced. But his big hope, the new 750-ton crane, has arrived.
Come on, boys, we'll get out of the way now.
Gareth hopes it will ease the pressure to increase revenue.
There aren't too many of those machines in the world. There will be plenty of work for the machine in oil and gas, in wind farms. It's ideal for those sectors.
Upstairs in the call centre, it's an opportunity to win new business.
No, he has put 2 days, so I'm assuming it's Friday, Monday, but I'll check, I'll come back to you.
We are an integral part of keeping Britain, you know, building, improving all the time. We're a small cog in a big machine, which helps make this country better.
But not every caller wants to hire a crane.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
We often get members of the public ringing in saying, I'm stuck behind your crane, and the person in the Chelsea tractor wants to take Tarquin to school, and he's going to be late. I'm pretty sure if he could make his crane go faster, he would do. But he can't, and that's just the way it is.
Gareth, however, has more pressing issues. It's his monthly meet with his management team to discuss profits.
OK, right, we'll get started then. So, in terms of where I was in business, just to give you an overview very, very quickly, February was a tough month for us. There's no getting away from that. The business is doing quite well. We've just got a bit of work to do now to year end.
I've got on my listing, London 2012's finished, so that's not going to be there next year. Arcomet's finished, that's not going to be there next year.
We were supposed to be getting all the work. Well, that's gone out the window from last year.
In 11-12, 3 accounts that you managed delivered 16 million quid. But we're saying in the new financial year that they're only going to do 12. It's a big dip. It's 4 million dip. Very mindful of the fact that I'm here to do a job, and I need to do that job. And if I don't do that job, then I'm sure our owners will find somebody that does.
In Hackney, the bridge replacement is into its third day.
You can hear the drilling. I couldn't get to sleep till 5:30 one night and couldn't go to work. I felt so awful. It's a nightmare.
The job has fallen 12 hours behind schedule.
What's that? That's live! That's live!
And Network Rail and construction bosses have come to see what's causing the hold-up.
But see, it's probably everybody feels it. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, can you hurry up? And you just sort of keep getting rushed, really. There's more suits than there is workers. Too many chiefs and not enough Indians. You can tell who management are because they're always clean. The workers are always rotten and filthy. The management are nice and clean, the ones that don't do nothing.
A piece of bridge needs lifting between overhead power cables. It's the most difficult part of the job.
Yep, here he goes. Lads! Lads! You want to come out the way, because that's coming down now. So you all clear down there? Yeah, bring it down. Keep going. Keep going.
But as they lift, there's a change of plan.
If we bring this down, we're going to stop that coming out, OK? That's more important we get that out.
They will block the massive bridge mover's path.
Well, that wasn't what the other one.
No,
right?
We just had a change, right?
I wish they could have told us before we got this up. We want to do it now. Put it back.
Just hold it back there, we can, yeah. Right. Otherwise, that's not...
It's got to go back. Too late. Too late. They don't want to put that back now.
No.
Because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
No, we can't hold it above up there. It's got to come down.
If you come down, we can stop that.
So you want to muck about trying to get this all back through there again then?
We're still bringing it down. I've seen it stop already.
The problem is one Osborne guy stopped it, another Osborne guy stopping it.
When we were there,
but
right?
it wouldn't stop it in the middle of the lift. It's unsafe. You can't just leave bridge sections like this hanging in the air for everybody to start walking around, walking under. You know, it becomes a safety issue and you have to make a decision and you have to stick by it. Check, the last we was told, instructed, yeah, get this out. Yeah. I said before or after that, he went, get it out now. One of them things. We'll just keep persevering and carry on and get it done.
It's 3/4 of the way through the job. And finally, the old bridge can be replaced.
Happy Easter.
The bigger the crane, the more money it makes.
It's the largest one on site. You see it for miles, absolutely miles.
Tristan drives a slightly different crane, a 600-ton crawler.
Apart from my family, this is the second love of my life. So family and then cranes. You end up being a bit of an old woman in here. You see like bird shit or something and it'll bother you for about an hour. The rest of the crane might have grease all over it. But one bit might just bother you for a day and you end up getting out and just cleaning that one bit.
This one stretches 320 feet into the sky and can rake in between £5,000 and £50,000 a day.
In every respect, size does matter. And don't let any woman tell you otherwise. Crawlers are the future. These are the best out of all the cranes. They're beefier looking. They look meaner. They're made for the job. If that mobile over there can't reach what he needs to reach, he has to spend about 20 minutes de-rigging just to move forwards probably about a metre. Where if I need to move forwards a metre, I'll just move forwards a metre with the tracks.
Tristan and his crane are north of Oxford for the next 4 months, building a new waste energy plant. It's a prestigious job for the company.
Keep looking up. Hold it there, mate, hold it there.
Today, Tristram is installing an industrial boiler.
Once it's up in the air, then they'll give it a final check. Make sure there's no stones caught in it that can drop off on the way round. Make sure everything's secure. Thumbs up, air on. The wave up in the air means clear to go.
coming down, mate. Keep coming down. Keep coming down.
Unlike other crane drivers that work in pairs, crawler drivers work alone.
You've got to enjoy your own company. If you don't enjoy your own company for this job, you won't last long. A self-confessed crane geek, definitely.
Crane hire.
Thank you.
At Preston HQ, the new 750 has yet to get a job.
Dave? Hi, Dave. We've got your 100-ton D-mag.
But Woody and the team need to keep the rest of the fleet out earning.
8 o'clock on site, is it? Cheers, Dave.
They're just a waste of space. Well, no, they're not getting a crane then.
No problem.
No, because they're blatantly lying to somebody about just not paying. It's just all delay tactics, and I'll be surprised if they don't go bump. Seriously. Cheers, thanks, bye-bye. Basically, a customer owes us money, not just short of £20,000. They keep making promises that they're going to pay. Then when we chase them up for payment, say, no, we told you we'll pay you next week, and it's just an ongoing thing. But this happens a lot, and since the recession, we're seeing that more and more and more. So the customer's gone on stop, don't get a crane.
No, I've been putting out fires on other issues, if I'm honest with you.
Thank you, Rennie. Bye.
All right. It's just part and parcel of the job, dealing with a high volume of work. But you've just got to, battle on through it and come out the other end. Smiles and dimples, as they say. I think that's our company motto, smiles and dimples.
Overnight, the bridge contractors have made up time and the new bridge is in. Just in time for the tracks to reopen on schedule. The Chuckles can relax.
We've got tea on what?
Yep. It's so messy. He leaves everything everywhere. You see chicken bones in there from yesterday. It drives me mad. From the old bridge coming out to the new bridge going in, from stage to stage, you get a sense of achievement at the end of it. Amazing. Amazing feat of engineering.
They're doing a good job. They make a lot of noise, but they're doing a good job. Let's hope the next bridge lasts 160 years.
The crane gang can overcome many obstacles, except the weather. It's the biggest cause of delays and cancellations. It's been the UK's harshest spring for 60 years. And it's affecting business.
OK, well, it's changed again. I've just rang the crane in Devonport, and like everybody else on that side, everybody's winded off.
Delayed. I don't think there's any chance of them lifting today with the weather.
Chaos, unfortunately. Everything that's planning this morning will have changed by tea time. We had an absolute full book for the weekend. We were absolutely brimming over, but jobs have just dropped off really badly. So we just had a bit of a situation in the yard. The tower crane was struggling to hold on to his loads, putting it on anyway. He's looked and it's blowing 100 kilometres an hour out there, so we had to get him down out of the tower crane. It's a bit windy. Won't get me up there, that's for sure. Cranes can't work in the wind, that's the major problem. It's like flying a big kite, isn't it? You got something on the end of a hook, it